He hadn't been sentenced or anything, but let me just say this. I have found, it has been my experience, that the questions that the jury or jurors ask are very good questions. And a lot of times the lawyers are kind of like, wow, I wish I thought of that myself, you know. At this point, because I've been doing it for so long now, pretty much the defense attorneys and the state's attorneys, they are very comfortable with the process, because what I do is that I hear the question first, and I make sure that it is admissible, that it is allowable question. And if it's not, I'll just say, I'm sorry, ma'am, you know, you can't ask that question, or I'm sorry, sir, that question is not proper. Then I'll move on, you know, to the next juror that has a question. So you got to have the protections in there so that they aren't asking improper questions.
Before we wind down, I have one more question.
Sure.
I'd like to know, what can we do as a community or a society to keep crime down?
Well, you know, Richard, that's been the whole goal of being on the bench, is to try to help with, you know, making sure that our criminal justice system is a fair place for people to resolve charges against them. As a community, I think what's important is that we talk to our kids more, especially the young men, because we see them so much more. And a lot of times, for example, people call me and I allow them to bring classes into the courtroom so that the young people can see an actual trial or part of a trial. It just depends on how much time they have. And once they are allowed to see a trial, naturally they have questions. And so I take a break from the jury, and then I come down off the bench and I talk to them, and I allow the kids to ask me whatever questions they may have. And you know, it's like you can read something, but when you see something, it really sticks. And I think it sticks with the kids, and I think it helps them to understand that I just saw this guy go from the courtroom into that jail door. I don't want to go there.
I don't want to be there.
I don't want to be there.
Well, let me say this. It has been a huge honor having you here, still making an impact, still making a difference, and we look forward to many more years and having you as a guest again.
Well, thank you. I've really enjoyed being here with you all today. And
we will be right back with Judge Clyde Jones.
Head to Carl Cannon. Their dream team makes it real easy to do business.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Carl Cannon Buick Cadillac GMC Chevrolet. My name is Joshua Salter, and would love to take this opportunity to show you the new 2016 Cadillac SRX. We've got some great promotions going on right now. Would love to help you get into a new car today. If you have any questions, please give us a call at 384-5561 or on my cell at 205-300-8364. Stop out and see us.
Other dealers can't? Cannon can.
Carl Cannon, Chevy Buick GMC Cadillac in Jasper.
Welcome back with Judge Clyde Jones, presiding judge of Jefferson County. Judge, I want to go a little forward with what we were talking about, trying to keep crime down or get a handle on that in the community. And you talked about education and listening to our young folks, particularly males. Tell us a little bit more about how we can get to our society, our community.
Well, one of the biggest problems that I've seen over the years, Richard, in cases where a person pleads guilty or have been found guilty by a jury, and we set a sentencing date about 8 weeks off. And in the meantime, that's to give the state probation office the opportunity to prepare a pre-sentence report for the court. And when I began reading those reports, I noticed very quickly that most of the defendants had dropped out of school in either the 9th, 10th, or 11th grade. And it occurred to me that let's say a kid gets put out of school for fighting or whatever other reason. Well, they're just out there in the community all day long with other people that have been put out of school. And, my grandmother always told me that idleness is the devil's workshop. So what do? They get in trouble. And they're in front of me. They end up in front of me or another circuit judge or a district judge for that matter. So it occurred to me that what we need to do is have a rule or a law that says that if you don't finish high school, you have to go through this particular program and obtain a trade, so that you don't have to be out there breaking in someone's house while they're gone to work. And that trade could help them to become a productive citizen. Additionally, we have a lot of people that are in jail and they can't make bond, but they probably should be in high school. Well, we need for the board, the county board to come in, or the city school board to come in and provide a means for those kids to get a GED, so that when they do get out, eventually they have some way of trying to obtain employment. We need to be able to recognize at-risk kids in school that are, likely not to graduate. And we need to try to help them before they are put out of school or they're dropouts. So I think there are just a lot of things that we can do if we pay more, closer attention to these young people, because it's like this. It's like your car. Either you're going to pay now and get the car maintained, or you're going to have a problem later. Now, it's cheaper if you go ahead and keep the car maintained than if you have that big problem later. So I say we need to try to help young people a lot more so that they don't end up in the criminal justice system, and we don't have to pay $15,000 a year for them to be in prison. I think society benefits from helping them now as opposed to later.
So education is the crux of the matter.
People with education can get a job, and they don't have to break in your house. They don't have to sell drugs on the corner. They don't have to rob you at gunpoint. They don't have to shoot you to try to get money to get drugs. It's all a vicious circle when you look at it. And so I think education, from small kids on up, I think that's really the key.
So if you were talking to a group of young people right now, what would you say to them in the hopes that you could get through to them, get to them?
I would tell them that every time I see a young person have to go to prison, that it hurts me. It really hurts me, because I see a life that's wasted. And every time I see a violent crime where someone is killed, well, society has lost the benefit of that person. Their family has lost the benefit and the love of that person. Their children have lost the benefit of a dad being there. But moreover, the defendant is someone that's probably getting ready to go to prison for a long time. Maybe 10 years, 20 years, could be life without parole. So society has lost two individuals in every murder case that we have. And I've been on the bench now for over 15 years, and I've never seen a murder case that really was about something very serious.
One thing that I think that a lot of people don't realize is just how much pain is involved in the criminal justice system, no matter what side you're on.
You are so right, Richard. And what people, I think they don't realize that if you kill someone, it not only affects you, but it affects your family. Your mother, your father, your sister, your brothers, they all have emotions about it. The deceased, their family, their mother, their father, their sister, their brothers, their children. It all affects them emotionally. And so it's not just that one individual that crime affects, there's the whole community that it affects. And that's what's sad to me. Because when I'm sitting up there on the bench and I look out, I see a row of people that's there for the defendant. They're fearful about that defendant having to go spend a lot of time in prison, possibly losing their life. And I see the victim's family and how sad that they are about the loss of their family member. And it's really sad. It's sad to me.
Well, let me end with this observation. We are fortunate in Jefferson County to have you as a judge with your experience, your background, your heart, and your brains. And I applaud you for all you have done and will continue to do for the citizens of Jefferson County and for the criminal justice system. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. I love the people of Jefferson County and the state of Alabama, and I'm committed to doing whatever I can to make this a better and safer place to live.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you for all you all do.
Yes, thank you. Welcome to Alabama Justice Lawyering Up. My name is Richard Jaffe, the senior partner in the Birmingham, Alabama law firm of Jaffe, Hanle, Whisonant, and Knight. We are going to explore with you the hottest cases, the most controversial topics of Alabama justice. And we're going to bring to you exciting key players that make our Alabama justice work or not work. We look forward to having you.